Deep within the labyrinth of YouTube, a mystery lived. It was a place where the usual rules of the internet seemed to bend and twist, creating an eerie atmosphere that was both captivating and terrifying. It lurked, hidden among the millions of channels. It had no name. This channel was an enigma, a ghost in the machine, existing without the usual identifiers that make a channel recognizable. It was as if it had been deliberately erased from the digital map, yet it persisted, haunting the corners of the platform. Where a title should be, there was only an unsettling emptiness. This void was more than just a lack of information. It was a deliberate absence, a blank space that seemed to draw viewers in with its mystery. The emptiness was a canvas for the imagination, allowing the mind to wander into dark and uncharted territories. The profile picture flickered. Static, like an old television, drew you in. It was a hypnotic pull, a siren's call that beckoned the curious and the brave. The flickering image was a portal to another world, one where the boundaries of reality and the digital realm blurred. Dare you click? Many scrolled past. They felt a chill. The hesitation was palpable, a moment of decision that could lead to the unknown. For some, the fear was too great, and they moved on. But for others, the allure of the mystery was too strong to resist. Something wasn't right, but some, their curiosity burning, clicked. The act of clicking was a leap of faith, a step into the abyss. It was a moment of surrender to the unknown, driven by a need to uncover the secrets that lay hidden within the channel. They entered the digital unknown. What they found was more unsettling than they could have imagined. The channel was a labyrinth of eerie content, each video a piece of a larger, more disturbing puzzle. It was a journey into the heart of darkness, where every click revealed another layer of the mystery. The Nameless Channel, as it became known, was a collection of darkness. Each video was a fragment of a larger narrative, a story told in shadows and whispers. The content was a mix of the bizarre and the terrifying, a digital nightmare that seemed to have no end. The videos had no titles, no descriptions, just thumbnails of static, each one slightly different. The lack of information was disorienting, creating a sense of unease that permeated the entire channel. Each thumbnail was a doorway to the unknown, a promise of something unsettling waiting to be discovered. The subscriber count remained at 0, yet the view counts varied wildly. This anomaly added to the mystery, suggesting that the channel was being watched but not followed. It was as if the viewers were afraid to commit, to acknowledge their fascination with the darkness. Some videos had millions, others only one. This stark contrast hinted at a hidden algorithm, a secret code that determined which videos would capture the attention of the masses and which would remain in obscurity. It was a puzzle that begged to be solved, a riddle wrapped in an enigma. It was a place of whispers and shadows, a place where the digital and the real seemed to blur. The channel was a liminal space, a threshold between worlds where the rules of reality no longer applied. It was a place where the imagination could run wild, where the darkest fears could come to life. The Nameless Channel, with its eerie, static and unsettling silence, called out to the deepest fears of the internet. It was a digital ghost story, a modern-day legend that captured the imagination of those who dared to explore its depths. The channel was a testament to the power of mystery, a reminder that sometimes the unknown is more terrifying than anything we can imagine. Rumors spread like wildfire through online forums. People whispered about the Nameless Channel. Some said the videos changed. They adapted to your deepest fears, showing you exactly what you were most afraid of. Others spoke of the whispers. They claimed to have heard their name spoken softly in the static. A disembodied voice calling to them from the darkness. A feeling of being watched, of being studied, settled upon those who dared to browse the channel. Stories circulated of people experiencing strange phenomena after watching the videos. Nightmares bled into reality. Electronics malfunctioned. Faces appeared in the static on their television screens. The stories were dismissed by many as creepy pasta, internet horror stories meant to scare. But for those who had seen the Nameless Channel, a seed of doubt remained. Could the stories be true? Was there something truly sinister lurking within the digital static?
Is this channel truly haunted? Is there something sinister lurking within these videos? Or is it all just elaborate internet lore? Tonight we find out.
Sarah, a young and fearless YouTuber, thrived on the strange and unexplained. She explored abandoned buildings, investigated local legends, and delved into the darkest corners of the internet. The Nameless Channel, with its air of mystery and whispered warnings, was a challenge she couldn't resist. She had heard the stories, of course, the whispers, the fear, the strange occurrences. But Sarah was a skeptic. She believed in evidence, in logic. And so, armed with her camera and her unwavering curiosity, she decided to document her exploration of the Nameless Channel for her viewers. With a click of her mouse, Sarah entered the Nameless Channel, ready to face whatever digital horrors awaited her. Section 4, one view only.
The channel's page was unsettlingly bare. No banner image, no channel description, just an empty space where the name should be. It was as if the channel itself was a ghost, existing in the digital ether without any identity or purpose. The emptiness was almost palpable, a void that seemed to suck in all light and hope.
The static profile picture seemed to writhe and twist, like something alive trapped behind the screen. Sarah scrolled through the endless rows of videos. Each thumbnail showed only static, each subtly different from the last, like snowflakes of digital noise. But one thing was consistent. The view count on each video was always 1. It was as if the channel was a digital graveyard, each video a tombstone marking a solitary, forgotten view.
One view. The words echoed in her mind, a haunting refrain that refused to be silenced. It was a mystery that gnawed at her, a puzzle that demanded to be solved.
Sarah whispered, a shiver running down her spine. The room seemed to grow colder, the shadows deeper. She felt as if she was being watched, as if unseen eyes were tracking her every move.
Does that mean each video can only be viewed once? And if so, who viewed it before? The questions tumbled out of her, each one more unsettling than the last. She felt a growing sense of dread, a fear that she was stepping into something far beyond her understanding.
The comments section offered no further clues. It was filled with strings of random characters, as if typed by someone or something that didn't understand human language. But every now and then a coherent comment would surface, chilling in its cryptic brevity. Messages like "help me" and "it's watching" sent chills down her spine. They were like whispers from the void, desperate cries for help that had gone unanswered.
Turn back. S3. Don't. The warnings were stark and unambiguous, a final plea for sanity in a world gone mad.
It sees you. The message was simple, yet it carried a weight of terror that was almost unbearable. It was as if the channel itself was alive, a malevolent entity that watched and waited.
These pleas for sanity, lost in a sea of digital gibberish, only fueled Sarah's curiosity. She felt a growing sense of unease, but also a strange pull, a morbid fascination with the channel and its secrets. It was as if she was being drawn into a web of darkness, a labyrinth of fear and mystery that she could not escape. She had to see what lay hidden within those single-view videos. The need to know was overwhelming, a compulsion that she could not resist. She clicked on the first video, her heart pounding in her chest. The screen flickered, and for a moment she thought she saw a face in the static, a fleeting glimpse of something that should not be. She leaned in closer, her eyes straining to make sense of the chaos. The video played, a cacophony of noise and distortion that seemed to reach out and envelop her. She felt a chill run through her, a sense of impending doom that she could not shake. But she could not look away. She was trapped, a prisoner of her own curiosity, drawn ever deeper into the darkness. As the video ended, the screen went black, and for a moment there was silence. Then a new video appeared, its thumbnail a swirling mass of static. The view count was 1. Sarah hesitated, her finger hovering over the mouse. She knew she should stop, that she was venturing into dangerous territory, but the pull was too strong. She clicked on the next video, her heart racing. The screen flickered to life, and once again she was drawn into the chaos. The cycle continued, each video a new layer of the mystery, each one more disturbing than the last. Sarah was lost, a wanderer in a digital nightmare, unable to find her way out. She knew she was in too deep, that she had crossed a line from which there was no return, but she could not stop. The need to know, to understand, was too powerful. She was a moth drawn to the flame, unable to resist the lure of the unknown. And as she clicked on yet another video, she knew that she was not just watching the channel was watching her. Section 5. Echoes in the Dark. Sarah took a deep breath, her finger hovering over a video titled Echoes in the Dark. She had heard rumors about this video, whispers in the dark corners of the internet. It was said to be cursed. A video that once watched would haunt you forever. But Sarah was curious, and her curiosity often got the better of her. It was the only video with an actual title, and the thumbnail showed a dimly lit room with a flickering television screen. The image was unsettling, yet it drew her in like a moth to a flame. She couldn't help but wonder what secrets it held.
This is it,
she murmured, her voice barely a whisper. The words seemed to hang in the air, heavy with anticipation.
This is where it gets interesting.
With a click, the video began to play. The video quality was grainy, the image flickering like an old VHS tape. A single bare bulb illuminated the center of a dusty room. The room looked abandoned, forgotten by time, with cobwebs hanging from the corners and dust particles dancing in the dim light. In the middle of the room sat an old television set, its screen filled with static snow. The static seemed to pulse, almost as if it were alive, and Sarah felt a strange compulsion to keep watching. The silence was absolute, broken only by the faint hum of the television and Sarah's own breathing. The quiet was oppressive, pressing down on her like a physical weight. An unsettling feeling of dread washed over her. It was as if the video was reaching out to her, pulling her into its dark embrace. It was as if the very air in the room was thick with something unseen, something malevolent. She could almost feel it pressing against her skin, cold and clammy. She couldn't explain it, but she felt a chill run down her spine. It was a primal fear, something deep and instinctual, warning her to turn away, an overwhelming sense of unease, as if she were being watched by something unseen. She glanced around the room, but there was nothing there, only shadows and silence. She tried to shake off the feeling, but it clung to her like a shadow, no matter how hard she tried to ignore it. The sense of being watched persisted, gnawing at the edges of her mind. Her hand trembled as she reached for the remote, her fingers brushing against the cold plastic. She hesitated, torn between the urge to turn off the video and the need to see what happened next. Her eyes were wide with fear, but she couldn't look away. The video had a hold on her, a grip that tightened with every passing second. She could feel her heart pounding in her chest, each beat echoing in the silence. It was as if the video was syncing with her heartbeat, drawing her deeper into its dark world. Her breath quickened, coming in short, shallow gasps. The air felt thick, almost suffocating, and she struggled to catch her breath. Her face was pale, drained of colour, and she felt a wave of nausea wash over her. The room seemed to spin, and she gripped the edge of the couch to steady herself. Her hand tightened around the remote, her knuckles white with tension. She knew she should turn it off, but she couldn't bring herself to do it. Her eyes were glued to the screen, unable to look away. The video had a hypnotic quality, drawing her in deeper and deeper. She saw her own reflection in the TV screen, her face pale and drawn. It was a stark contrast to the darkness of the room, and it only added to her sense of unease. Her hand moved towards the power button, her finger hovering just above it. She hesitated, torn between the need to escape and the compulsion to continue watching. Her face was half lit by the flickering screen, the shadows playing across her features. She felt like she was on the edge of something, a precipice between reality and the unknown. Finally, with a surge of willpower, she pressed the button. The screen went dark, and the room was plunged into silence. But the sense of unease lingered, a shadow that refused to be shaken. She sat in the darkness, her heart still racing, her mind filled with questions. What had she just seen, and why did it feel like it wasn't over? She stared at the blank screen, the echoes of the video still ringing in her ears. She knew she had to find out more, to uncover the truth behind echoes in the dark. With a newfound determination, she resolved to dig deeper, to uncover the secrets that lay hidden in the shadows. The echoes in the dark had called to her, and she was ready to answer.